Hi, you guys. Happy Friday. I am going to make the quickest Faith Friday y'all ever did see, because I've got to do some training and some coaching, and then I'm going to probably do a little bit of shopping with my husband today. But this was on my heart to share with you guys, and it's kind of relevant to my entire channel. I was talking with one of my friends about letting go of emotion so that you can let love in, and this includes like the love of God, which was like perfect for this Faith Friday. So one of the things I talk about on this channel a lot is emotional eating and eating from a place of trauma and not eating from a place of wholeness and healthiness and wellness, and that until you can eat from a place of wholeness and include a healthy lifestyle in that, you're going to really struggle with being fit for a while. Because if you're always eating from a place of, I'm trying to get this need met instead of this is what's good for me, this is what's going to give me energy, it doesn't really translate long term. And so a lot of times what I saw with myself and with my clients is they're eating healthy for a while and then they're binge eating because they haven't released the emotions that they're trying to cover up. And so they end up needing to use the food to actually suppress those emotions. And so what I want to talk about is, number one, the fact that you cannot selectively numb an emotion. So if you're using food as a way to cope with life in any way, like if you're using food as, even when you go, every time you celebrate, it's like, oh, I need this like rush of food, or when you're sad, or when you're guilty, or when you're angry, you are suppressing every single emotion, including love, and also the ability to intuit. And so in order to really, like for me, my whole thing at some point became like getting married and having a healthy relationship. And in order for that to happen, I had to release my food addiction. I had to release my emotional eating. And I did that through a process that I outlined in my food mindset course, which is linked in the description box below. But one of the things I did was I had to actually release a lot of emotions back from when I was like 8 years old all the way up to current age. So I had to go through a process of releasing, crying, talking about it, processing it with a therapist. And then I had to learn the tools that I needed in order to stop suppressing them. I had to stop becoming afraid of my emotions. And the more I released emotions, the more I was able to hear and learn from God also, because I was so numb that, of course, God is God. Like, he's going to get into your heart anyway. But I found it easier to submit to the will of the Lord when I wasn't fighting everything else with food. And in my relationship and in my marriage, I'm now able to have compassion for my husband in ways that I would have never done before, because when you can't feel your own emotions, you also can't feel everybody else's. You can't actually empathize. What you end up doing is taking on their emotions and then eating them too, And so just know that you have to release the attachment to your emotions and the coping mechanisms you're using to suppress your emotions to let love in. And it's possible. And I wanted to share that with you guys today, because this is something that I said in my food mindset course, which is on sale this weekend for Black Friday. It's in the description box. You can log into it. I talk about how I released all of these emotions so that I could let love in, including the love of God. And so just know that this is something that you can go to God about too. I think we think oftentimes that God is just here for like saving sin. And then we think about sin as like the 7 deadly sins in the Bible, or like, the 10 commandments, but he's also here to release us from the trauma that we experience from childhood, and the trauma that we experience from all of other things. He's here to release us from any idols, any bondage, anything that stops us from being closer to him. And that includes using food as a tool to cope. So just know that this is something you can go to the Lord about. Don't be afraid to go to God about these things. This is something that I had to do. I just got on my knees or the treadmill every day and prayed about it. I prayed and begged him to just like soften my heart, and then release the emotion so that I wasn't turning to anything other than God. And I asked him for tools. I was like, put people in my life that can help me with this. Show me books that can help me with this. And he did. So just know, if this is something that you're struggling with, you can release the emotions and let love in. And if you need help with this, I am a food mindset coach. So we can talk about this. We can hop on a call, and I'm happy to help you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Hope you guys get some shopping in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.